So I'm one, as far as the teams that I manage and the people that I work with, I reward them based on projects. I'm not really much of that hourly. I want to get out of that hourly mentality. And
Hmm.
what's kind of funny, this is my newest toy. I don't know if you've seen this before. Have you seen this?
No, what is that?
This is a Pomodoro timer. I still have to put the batteries in it, but you set it down like this and it's a 5 minute timer. You set it like this and it's a 15-minute timer. You set it like this and it's a 30-minute timer. You set it like this and it's 45 minutes. So I'm the type of guy who likes to sit there and go, okay, I could just smash out 45 minutes right now and get all these things done. Now I have a timer to keep me accountable. Boom. And then just focus, 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 focus. And then at 45 minutes, boom, stop, peel, get off, and walk away.
Oh,
Um,
wow.
but it's not easy. And that's why a timer helps, or your loved ones help. I was getting stuck on some technology that wasn't working right just before this. And I was getting stressed out. And my wife came in and she's like, you just step. You've got your interview coming up. Just like prepare. It's okay. And I'm just like, and it takes sometimes somebody to help you get out of that, like this mentality that it has to be fixed now, because you step away from a little bit. And once I attack it right after this, I'm sure it's going to be just fine. So
Yeah.
I think being able to recognize your own strengths and your own sort of the scene for when you're in flow is
Hmm.
so crucial, because I think there's actually some really interesting statistics about how much work is actually done during the workday. I can't quote it, but it's a crazy amount. So if you're an employer and you have tons of employees and you're paying them for an 8-hour day, the actual work they're producing is usually a lot less. And so
Amazing.
I think now in this digital hybrid environment, the more we can encourage people to learn that it's not about just replying to emails and being in front of the computer, but it's about how can you effectively use your time so that you don't have to just, fatigue your mind essentially.
Hmm. That's amazing. And it's funny as you're talking about that too. It's there's distractions and things like this dog that just decided to come up on us right now while we're talking, and
Jealous dog, yeah.
it used to be that, that would have driven me crazy, but now it's kind of the when you can develop that mindset, you just kind of say, "Hey, how are you, bud?" Anyway, no, I think he's the best timing, either that or when Siri decides to go off on you sometimes when
Right.
you don't realize it. Um, what do you think in your mind is the opposite of a professional mindset? What comes to your mind?
Something that is taking you away from your potential energy and your potential goals. So
Yeah.
if you are uh if you are not if you're not if you don't have the right mindset about health, that could be the opposite of a professional mindset.
Yeah.
If you are not maintaining a good sleep regimen, that could be the opposite of a professional mindset.
Yeah.
One of the things I always tell my employees and my freelancers is I always check in with them that they're drinking water. It's silly, but it's like, how much water are you drinking today? Are you drinking water? It's so important. But to be truly a professional, if my definition is about efficiency, then you need to be well fed, well slept, and in the right brain space so that when you're doing the time, it's highly effective. So I think that when you the opposite of a professional mindset would be things that don't set you up for success on the basics.
Hmm.
One thing that I love reminding myself that is that successful people are not doing what everybody else cannot do.
Mm.
Successful people are
Yeah.
doing what everyone can do, but not everyone does.
Yeah.
And
Wow.
those things are waking up early, going to bed early, staying healthy, sending thank you notes, being grateful, appreciating the water cooler talk, getting past the platitudes, all these little things that we all have the ability to do.
Hmm.
But we look for hacks, we look for apps, we look for things that can like sidestep those basics. And so
Hmm.
I think basics, like I'm looking for a class where I can improve my typing speed. Okay.
Okay.
I already type super fast.
Yeah.
Like I can almost type as fast as somebody talks. But I know that for my profession, I'm going to be keys to the fingers of the keys for the rest of my life.
Yeah.
And so the faster I can get, the more efficient I can be. And so I'm going to invest my time in learning some of those basic skills that helps that 45 minutes maybe get to 30 minutes.
Right.
And had a recent health scare with my dad, and it always is just a reminder that work's not everything.
Yeah.
And so I just would encourage people that when you think about a professional mindset, it's things that are setting you up for success, where you're investing time that multiplies. The
Mm-hmm.
things that you're doing are multiplying. An example, when it comes to having a full-time job and building a personal brand,
Mm-hmm.
sometimes people see those as separate things, and it's hard for them to do all the things necessary. But if you look at it and you go, what parts of my job can I help to create content or learning experiences around? And how can I formulate that into content that adds value to the larger, say, LinkedIn community or people that I'm involved with? And then the blogs that you write help reinforce your brand at work, helps you become a better employee. It's about those overlaying and multiplying factors.
Mm-hmm.
Another example is, I spoke in Ghana today with for her future summit, and there's hundreds of people there, and it was tons of fun. That talk, when I get the recording, I'm going to transcribe it, turn it into an article. I'm going to publish that article and put the video in there. I'm going to take that video, I'm going to tweet it out. I'm going to there's so many small steps that you can take to syndicate the things that you do.
Right.
For me, that's being efficient.
Yes.
So when I work with somebody from a branding perspective and they're like, how do you create so much content and how do you still have all these things? Well, there's a whole syndication strategy.
Yeah.
If you have a podcast, you're investing your time in this podcast. That can become an article, that become a
Mm-hmm.
video, that can become something that it's just like, so for me, the more professional you are, the more efficient you are, the more duplicative your efforts are. Uh, and for me, the benefit of all that, sure, it comes with more prestige and more money and more responsibility and success from business.
Mm-hmm.
Don't forget, a big part of that efficiency is that it allows you to step away and actually enjoy what you want to do. So you don't wake up in 30 years and be like, oh my God, what happened?
Yeah. Wow. That was all wonderful. Thank you for sharing all of that with us, and about the mindset. Now, actually, what I'd just like to do before we end this afternoon is I'd like to give you a chance to talk about maybe your book a little bit, and share a little bit about you and Ditch the Act. And please, it's my pleasure.
Yeah, so it's interesting, this whole having a book. And what I think is the most fulfilling of the process is that I was able to find what worked by finding what didn't work. And as I was trying to build a speaking business, as I was trying to build my brand, as I was trying to build a following, I tried to fake it to make it. I said, I'm an amazing speaker, hire me. Nobody
Yeah.
hired me. I said, I'm a great writer. Look at all these things I've written. Nobody would read them. And so we tend to think that portraying your successes and showcasing your highlight reel and only posting the good stuff and only posting the pictures where you have the successes,
Mm-hmm.
that's what you need to do to find success, because that's what you see online. And it took a long time for me to realize that that actually didn't work. And there's a few turning points to where, when I was vulnerable or when I sort of exposed that I didn't have it all together, that's when I started to see people actually connect. And that's when I started to see people see themselves in my story.
Yeah.
And if you look at this whole concept of ditching the act, it stems from the fact that, you're different in front of your parents, you're different in front of your friends, you're different in front of your loved ones, you're different in front of your boss. We put on these facades.
Mm-hmm.
We're so concerned about what other people think that we're afraid to sometimes just be who we actually are, or say what we actually think, or share how we actually feel. And you see this a lot in the work environment, where you jump on a Zoom and you're like, hey, how's it going? It's good. It's great. Things are good. Great. Good. Okay, good. Let's get into it. But you don't know what's really going on, because you just asked them what's good to expect to have an answer that they're good. And you want to tell them that you're good, and there might be something that's bad.
Yeah.
And so as I've started to share honestly how things are going with me, or honestly how I'm feeling, it allows other people to be like, you too? I thought I was the
Yeah.
only one. And so in general, I think business has been sort of promoted as share your story of success, But what I found is that people don't care about your story of success. They care about how they see themselves in your story.
Mhm.
And if you don't let people get to know you, then they're not necessarily going to be able to have the you act is finding who you really are, what you're excited about, and how you can start to communicate that in little brand crumbs so that people will get to know you based on the content that you share. And if all
Yeah.
you share is the glitz and glam and shiny, then you're not as relatable. So the idea is that the more you can show people that you're actually more like them than they'd think, then that's where you actually can build community, and you're not just preaching from a stub. People are interested in what you're saying, and you're actively listening and you're engaged. So it's an exercise in just being more human. And
Yes.
it's frightening though. It's frightening to think about sharing things that are going wrong, or even the little things that you make mistakes during the day. But once you realize that we all have things that are going wrong and we all have little mistakes, these are little opportunities to connect with each other and be like, oh, let my guard down a little bit and like, let's just kind of hang out. So
Right.
it's more of a
Right.
lifestyle choice, which reduces stress, creates more connection. And if you think about like your closest friends, your closest family members, you know all kinds of stuff about them, and you're willing to share stuff with them because they're not going to judge you. They'll just hug you and tell you that they love you.
Right.
So we
Yeah.
think that those people that we don't share that stuff with will judge us. But actually, when you start to share those things, people will respect you. They'll see you as courageous. It'll inspire them to share things about themselves. And if you're going to build a relationship, you need to know really about what's going on with that person. And then that can soon turn to a partnership where, because you understand each other and you're real with each other, you're like, actually, this is what I want. This is my intention. What's your intention? Okay, cool. So how can we partner so that both intentions match? And then a partnership can lead to a sponsorship when you're genuinely showing what you can provide and that genuinely helps somebody out. And then there becomes money involved. And the magic to all that is that if done right, it'll also form a friendship, which
Yes.
turns into new partnerships, which builds into new sponsorships. And so I
Yeah.
look at getting a keynote fee that, sort of makes your eyes go, whoa. And it's a sponsorship that's based on a partnership, that's based on a relationship. And when that becomes a friendship, they bring me back, and it's not, I'm paying you, it's we're working together. So the
Yeah.
more you can share who you are and the more you can just be authentic and show the underbelly every once in a while, the more people will be interested in actually listening and connecting and being receptive. Otherwise, you're just one of these people that are shouting with a microphone from the top, adding to all the noise, and you just put them on mute, or you don't want to connect with them.
Yeah. Yeah. Wow. And it's so great to talk to you, because a lot of the things you're saying are things that we want to really do here at the college. And but again, this isn't about me. This was your chance to share about you. That's what the Professional Mindset series is. As a professional knowledge broker, it's my chance to allow you to share your thoughts, your mind with everybody. Um, I want to thank you for being on the show this evening with me. It's been such a pleasure. Um, I honestly love reviewing your content as new content comes out every day. The stick figures are great. Uh, you know,
I
uh,
do them every day. I've done them every day for
Tell me
years.
about it. I see a new one and I'm just like, man, where does this guy get the creativity?
Well,
Oh my
the other
goodness.
day I was up in the morning, we were having our coffee, getting ready to work out, and I was like, I don't feel like working out. Like I'm tired. Like,
I saw that one.
yeah, no, but then I told myself, like, you know what? You can't get in your own way. And so I just
Hmm.
visualized like one person stopping me and the other person being like, no. And then I drew it and I was like, okay, I'm not going to stop myself. And then just like powered through. So,
I
I
love
look
it.
for daily inspiration as it goes. But it's fun. If people do want to get a taste of my content every week, specifically one thing to listen to, one thing to watch, and one thing to see, I
Hmm.
have a newsletter that goes out weekly, whether it's Thursday, Friday, and sometimes they'll change it up just to see how the open rates change. But you can go to ryan.online/sign up. And
Perfect.
I just broke the 5,000 email mark. and it just takes a long time to get people to give you a full opt-in. And I'm
Yeah.
fine to get them ones and twos, because every week I'll take what I do and I'll put together one thing to listen to, one thing to watch, and one thing to see. 3 things from me.
That is so wonderful. Well, again, thank you for your time. For those of you that are interested and want to look at the boot camps that we have to offer and any of our free workshops, just you can find us on YouTube or on Facebook at American Heritage College, or find our LinkedIn page. With that, I want to thank you, Ryan, and I want to thank you out there for listening in. And you guys take care and have a wonderful evening.
Sounds good. Good
Thank
evening,
you.
good afternoon, good night, wherever you are.
That's
Remember,
right.
professional mindset is about efficiency. So the more efficient you can be, the more you can not worry about efficiency. When you're on the boat, when you're working, when you're doing whatever you want, it doesn't matter. So it's good to have that balance.
That's right.